Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez did not like this video of Dan Feinstein smacking around these exploitative adults and these kids. So she, for some reason, videotaped herself cooking again because she's a serious person. And she gave her latest urgent plea for the Green New Deal, a performance of the year.
Our planet is going to face disaster if we don't turn this ship around. And so it's basically like there's scientific consensus that the lives of children are going to be very difficult. And it does lead, I think, young people to have a legitimate question. You know, is it okay to still have children? And I mean, not just financially, because people are graduating with $20,000, $30,000, $100,000 worth of student loan debt. And so they can't even afford to have kids in a house, but also just this basic moral question, like what do we do? And even if you don't have kids, there are still children here in the world, and we have a moral obligation to them to leave a better world for them.
Of course, not to belabor the point, but when you have a sitting Democrat governor calling for killing children after they're born, when you have another Democrat governor calling for killing children as they're being born and taking away protections if they are killed while they are being born, if they're murdered while they're being born, then you have to raise the question, how much does the left really care about children? And listen, this is the mark that something has gone really wicked in your politics. This is always the mark. This is the mark throughout history. When you want to stop creating children or begetting children, when you want to cut off life, when you want to cut off life at birth, when you want to cut off life at the end through euthanasia, doctor-assisted suicide, legalizing suicide, when you want there to be fewer people, when you say it's moral for there to be fewer people, when you say we have overpopulation, when you say any number of excuses to squeeze off human life, that is the sign that your politics has delved into something wicked. And that's what she's talking about. I've heard people say this. They say, well, we can't bring kids into this world because the world is so terrible. There's global warming. And then they say we can't bring kids into this world because it'll cause global warming. Well, which is it? It's a conclusion looking for an argument. And I don't know if Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez is even remotely conscious enough to realize that, but she is being used by fairly wicked ideologies. And then she is using these ideologies in a really manipulative way. Whenever politicians say, think of the children, you know that you are dealing with a demagogue. There is only one exception to this, which is when politicians are actually calling for the slaughter of babies an hour after they're born, as is happening now. But when they talk in the abstract, say, think of the children, you are dealing with a demagogue. And AOC is silent, by the way, on the killing of children. But that's what this is about. This is about demagoguery, and it is about exploiting and terrifying kids to destroy our Republican system of government, which is what will happen. That's what the Green New Deal does. It destroys our Republican system of government.